We just got done riding the all-new 2022 Ducati Streetfighter V2. Now, following the success and popularity of the Ducati Streetfighter V4 platform, the company has done essentially the same thing with the Panigale V2 and now the Streetfighter V2. What that is taking a popular supersport model, stripping it of its fairings, revising the ergonomics, and giving it a couple little tweaks to better suit the street needs and create a more versatile, everyday platform with plenty of performance. Now, as you could guess, the heart of the V2 is the 955cc Super Quattro V-twin power plant, as you've seen in the Panigale. Ducati has shortened the actual gearing, the final drive gearing, adding 2 teeth to the rear sprocket, focusing on acceleration and grunt out of the corners. Otherwise, it remains mechanically unchanged. The Streetfighter V2, along with the Panigale V2, get Ducati's latest and greatest 6-axis IMU-based electronics rider aid package. Now, that includes 3 ride modes, multiple throttle response settings, traction control, engine brake settings, ABS. Now, one of the most impressive parts about this Ducati, and as I have found with other Ducati sport models, is that its ride-by-wire system encompasses a very direct throttle connection to the rear tire. Unlike we've seen in other manufacturers where the throttle feels a little bit numb, it's hard to understand exactly what your throttle percentage is. The Ducati is very direct. It feels honestly a lot like a traditional cable-like throttle, and what that translates to is confidence and precision out on the racetrack. Now, the Streetfighter V2 is a missile. Ducati claims that this is 153 horsepower, a little bit less than the Streetfighter V4, of course, but what that comes with is approachability and rider friendliness. I think that a more broad spectrum of riders can really take advantage of the V2, and that's what Ducati has gone after, being able to deliver that Streetfighter performance in a more approachable, more friendly package. Now, Ducati has remained with the same chassis with a couple tweaks in comparison to the Panigale V2. Now, those tweaks being a slightly longer swing arm, and despite that shortened final drive gearing, the wheelbase actually grows about 26 millimeters in comparison to the Panigale. What that translates out to on the track is a very stable, very planted feel. That was one of the first things I really took note of out on the racetrack here in Monte Blanco, with a very direct connection, a good understanding of grip via the Pirelli Diablo Rosso 4 tires. At the front of this motorcycle is the Brembo M 4.32 monoblock calipers that provide a ton of stopping power. But if I have one minor complaint with the introduction of the Streetfighter V2, they have given it a specific brake pad compound. Now, this brake pad compound seems like it may be a little bit harder, and what that does is rob you of feel at the front brake lever or the master cylinder. So the understanding of brake pressure being applied to the disc becomes more difficult to read. Now, of course, being the Streetfighter V2, like the Streetfighter V4, Ducati has given this in a very distinct, aggressive look. And Ducati actually says that they mimicked it off the Joker character of the movies. You see that in the front headlight shape and the minimalistic paneling around this Ducati. Now, the ergonomics package, obviously with the Streetfighter, it's got a one-piece motocross style handlebar and foot pegs that have been pushed down and forward for a little bit more relaxed stance. But what I have to say is that they still remain in an aggressive enough position that you can utilize your legs underneath you, really hustle the motorcycle around the corners, but you're not going to be so fatigued at the end of the day as you might be on a true super sport machine. Now, in terms of the handlebar, I've consistently found, not only with the V2, but with the V4, I find that I want to roll the handlebar back just slightly, take a little bit of pressure away from my wrist. At the end of the day, I feel like I have a lot of energy and force going through my hands, and that can wear you out. Again, it's much different than what you might find on a true super sport machine, and that is a positive. So what Ducati was after was essentially taking super sport performance, delivering it in a more versatile, everyday package that you can appreciate on your way to work, on the racetrack like we were here today, and everything in between. And I would say that they have done this and done a very good job at finding a balance. Of course, like all Ducati motorcycles, these are very premium products and they are priced as such. The Ducati Streetfighter V2 will retail for $16,995 in the United States, that coming in February of 2022. Yes, it is a little bit on the steep end of the spectrum in regards to other competition in the class, but as we go back to it, Ducati is a premium brand and the motorcycle is built with an exquisite fit and finish that we've come to expect from the Italian manufacturer. If you're looking for a Ducati Streetfighter, the V2 offers itself as a more approachable, more affordable package while delivering that sense of a more approachable street fighter option with still a very engaging platform. Anyways, that's about it for our time here on the Streetfighter V2 in Spain. I very much look forward to getting this motorcycle back to the Cycle World offices, throwing it on our in-house dyno, throwing it up on our scales, doing our own performance testing, and doing another in-depth story. If you like this video, be sure to like it, comment, we want to hear from you, and subscribe to the Cycle World YouTube channel. Head over to cycleworld.com, read the full story, and we'll see you guys next time.